Welcome, brothers and sisters, to today's Morning Heart Devotion. And to start, we'd like to offer greetings to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. 천진 참포님께 경배! 바로. And to lead us into the family pledge, I'd like to invite Reverend Nohan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 자녀를 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀극 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Stevens. And so, to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Gloria Laurent. So Mrs. Gloria Laurent, if you can please unmute yourself and offer your prayer.
I will do that today. Let us pray. Our beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we are all gathered together again in North America, Canada, and other countries because we would like to open the day with you, with our true parents, so that in that way we can live with you, Heavenly Parents. And we are always grateful to you, to our true parents, to Jesus, and to our leadership, Dr. Chong Shik Yong, and our President, Naokimi, and all the staff of our media, national media. Heavenly Parents, I'm praying that all the time, as you always do to us, that may your presence will be here again this morning, so that we can live with you, we can live with our true parents' words, and that way we can really be your plus minus, that we can reunite with you, Heavenly Parents, that we can reunite with our true parents. We are really grateful to you, and may the words that we are going to hear today can really make us fire, like a fire, Heavenly Parents, living with you and thinking the total salvation of this country, Canada, and other nations or the world. We will always remember the words of our true Father, living for the sake of others, so that in that way we can give hope and we can really make you happy, Heavenly Parents, for so long time. In this period of time, we recognize you are suffering, Heavenly Parents. We never know that. We just pray and ask many things from you. But may we could really stand in your position as your sons and daughters. So thank you so much, Heavenly Parents. And we pray this together in my name, Glory Loran, and together with my brothers and sisters who are in the call. Thank you so much, and adieu.
Wow, Gloria, very, very powerful prayer. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Lauren. And now, brothers and sisters, we like to take this time to go into our breakout and appreciate or recognize what we appreciate for today and share that with each other. And also, if you're joining here alone, please take this time to reflect on your gratitude points. So let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a wonderful time sharing your appreciation points with one another. And to share with the whole community first, I'd like to invite up Mr. Pierre Beauregard. So, Mr. Beauregard, if you can please unmute yourself and share your appreciation points.
Good morning, Dr. Yong. Good morning, brothers and sisters around
Good morning.
the world.
Good morning.
Morning.
Pierre. Yes.
Good morning. So my 2 points of appreciation are first for Mrs. Hyun Suk Park, who just ascended to spirit world. I am very moved by her. There was a memorial service at Belvedere, and I was in Seattle in 84, 85, 86 with Jun Suk Park, who became continental leader, I believe, after being the leader in that region. And I appreciated Dr. Park as really a person of heart. And so I'm very grateful for her life, because I always heard how she was working so hard, maintaining the store, and her home was a community place. Everybody came there. I was at Gloucester, Massachusetts in 87, and I met all kinds of Jin-kun, all these second gen, almost the same name from Korea, but but they all know Jun Suk Park. They love her. And so she's a true example. She's being recognized by True Mother as, I don't remember the exact word Jun Suk Park said, but perfection of family, something like this. So perfection level of family. And also I understand that there will be the first Chungbo Songhwa on the 12th, held at in Korea. I don't know if there will be a live webcast for us on Monday night. But for those who haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to go to Belvedere Church, and you can hear even, Mrs. Hyun Suk Park was a mother-in-law of the Sun Jinim, and her appreciation, Sun Jinim's appreciation for her mother-in-law is very moving. So is Insup's appreciation, of course, and also for his brother, because his older brother took incredible care of the family. And finally, the testimony of Jun Hyun Park, who was the last one to testify, was very profound. He's connecting this a bit with Daimonim and the one who passed away in the car accident. I'm sorry, I can't remember. True Father's son, who passed away in the car accident in 1984, because Dr. Park was there at the time. Hung Jin-nim, I'm sorry. And my second point of appreciation is last night was the inauguration, and yesterday was my birthday, by the way. And I was so happy that this was the inauguration of the 6 weeks Loving Integrity course, and we had presentations by Andy Compton, Yana Johnson, and David Wolfenberger. And for 6 weeks, I will be studying with my wife the book Core of the Universe. And we always appreciate Dr. Yong is telling us that the front line is at home. And it's also go out, I know, but it's at home. So it's both the two main front lines. So I'm very grateful. I want to embody the love of God in my couple, in my family. And I have two great inspirations that I had. And that's what I wanted to share. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Pierre Beauregard, for your beautiful sharing. 감사합니다. Really, really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beauregard. And also, the world is very appreciative of you for being able to translate Morning Heart Devotion to French. Thank you very much for your help. And next, to share with the community, I'd like to invite up Miss Rebecca Calix. So, Mrs. Calix, if you can please share your appreciation points this morning.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Wow, beautiful, Rebecca. Wow, good singer, good singer.
Thank you. I'm very appreciative of my cousin Sumina. Yesterday we were baking for the Chunbo induction today, and we just had a blast yesterday. It's been a couple of years since we've really talked and gotten to know each other in our adult life, and it's been really nice after I moved to Minnesota and joined her family over here. We just spent all night laughing, having fun, making fun of our baking when it messed up a little bit. And it was just filled with laughs and love, and I really missed that the past couple of years. So, very appreciative for her for welcoming me into her home.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rebecca. I was so much really, how to say, grateful to hear you are singing. Wow, you are really beautiful voice. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for your
감사합니다.
contribution all the time.
Thank you, Rebecca. And so, yeah, thank you, brothers and sisters, for sharing and really uplifting the atmosphere with your appreciation. But now let us open up our hearts and our minds to receive our internal guidance for this morning from Dr. Chunchik Yong. So welcome, Dr. Yong.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy, and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? I came back to New York last night, so I'm very happy. Now I came back home. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the members of Michigan. More than, I think, 50 members gathered there together. It was a good photo, really beautiful sharing. And many brothers and sisters come from very far away. But I think most of them came and then participating beautiful meeting. Then we gather at the holy ground of Michigan and pray together. It was a good photo. And then, our David and also Nina, state leader, they really arranged very well. Thank you so much. Then we had a lunch meeting with the Bishop Harden couple at the Noble Sushi restaurant owned by our church member, Takayuki Sakaguchi. Then I fly to New York and arrive at the New York hotel last night. Thank you to all family members who have cooperated with the third sub-region Holy Ground tour. Special thanks to Takami, sub-regional leader. Wow. This guy is really well arranged, thoroughly, everything in details. I really appreciate his leadership and also all district leaders, state leaders, and especially Indian state leader, Hebangja, for driving this long 10 days. We visited 10 states, within 10 days. And thank you to everyone in the family who made a delicious meal and great hospitality. I really appreciate all of you from bottom of my heart. Today, I'd like to talk from True Mother's memoir about becoming the light of the world through a filial heart for heaven. Let's invite our Heavenly Honey. Please read.
From time to time, I ascend Mount Bawang in Pyeongchang, Gwanwon-do. At the foot of that nearly 1,500-meter mountain is the well-known Yeongpyeong Resort, a property that our members have developed. It is one of the locations where the popular Korean drama, Winter Sonata, was filmed. At the top of that mountain is a rare tree. I named it the mother and child tree. It is actually two trees of different species that have grown together and become one. A Chinese crabapple tree that is hundreds of years old is the mother, and a rowan tree that has grown up within it is the child. This mother and child tree has flourished like that. They depend on each other and thrive together. Perhaps when the crab apple tree became old and hollow, a bird dropped a rowan tree seed inside it, and a new tree grew there. The crab apple tree embraced and nurtured the rowan tree as if it were its child. Over time, the rowan tree's roots grew deep until it could support the crabapple tree as if it was taking care of its mother. In the same space, the two trees each blossom and bear fruit. They are only trees, but they are an example of filial piety. They exhibit what I call yojung, the beautiful love, care, and deep heart of parent and child. Most Koreans, when they first encounter the term yojung, tilt their head in puzzlement. It might seem like a familiar concept, but it is not easy to define. They wonder, does it refer to a feeling in one's heart, or does it refer to actual practice? The Korean word yo means to be effective, so some even think that is the meaning. The term yojang, which I created, includes giving one's whole heart, and so being effective is not entirely wrong. However, the term yojang that I have been using has a much deeper and wider meaning. Yo is a term that once was prevalent in the Far East. If we had to translate it into English, we might render it filial duty. However, the word duty is not enough. Yo means duly motivated by love, duty that is not compulsory, but is happily voluntary, and that provides one's life its deepest meaning. Of course, that includes sincerely honoring and truly loving your parents. Yo is a beautiful Korean tradition and also is the foundation of life. It is sad to see that the concept of yo is slowly disappearing in society.
Okay, thank you, Heavenly Honey. Sho, not yo. Sho, sho. Sho, not yo. Sho. Korean people, shojang, sho. And what is a filial piety? I think last time I mentioned, but I'd like to repeat again. This filial piety is one of the essential, content. Filial piety is serving God. Filial piety is thinking of God as your parent and loving God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is a filial piety. Even though Bible did not mention directly about filial piety, but already mentioned very clearly, Matthew, chapter 2, verse 37 to 39, Jesus is talking about what is the first and greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, with all your mind. That is exactly that is filial piety. So as long as you set up that kind of filial piety toward God, and then you need to practice horizontally. That is the second commandment, which is love your neighbor as yourself. This is really vertical alignment and let's say horizontal alignment. This is everything actually. Even though Bible did not mention directly, but already talking about here. As long as you set up, that kind of vertical alignment between God and yourself, loving God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and serving God in such a way. This is the measure. You can love your God, you can love your spouse in the same way. You can love your children as the same way. You can love anything as the same way. That's why filial piety is everything. This is really a very, clear alignment. Filial piety is the most essential content. Filial piety respects his or her parents. Filial piety is to love and serve one's parents as if they were God. So anyone loving God, anyone serving God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind, that kind of the mindset, that kind of the attitude, automatically you can love your father and mother and respect your father and mother. Filial piety love his or her family. Filial piety is to think and love one's family as one's own parents, because members of my family are my closest neighbors. Filial piety is loyal to one's nation, because the filial piety loves her country as her parents. Filial piety is preserve nature, because filial piety considers nature of the part of my parents' body. Filial piety is serve all humankind. This is because filial piety loves mankind as if they were their own parents and brothers and sisters. All mankind, children of God. All mankind came from God. Father, Bible say that. What's the second greatest commandment? You need to love your neighbor as God. Same things. I treat all mankind as God, because all mankind, children of God. You are my brothers and sisters. Filial piety will never dry up his tears for parents. Filial sons and daughters always worry and concern parents about concern and worry, and always try to take care, and always feeling is not enough. I didn't do enough for my parents. Always living centering on parents' wish and parents' heart. That's why, as a child, never dry up his tears. We can experience God's heart only with filial piety, and only possible by shedding tears toward the parents. Only filial piety can touch God's heart. Only filial piety can touch my parents' heart. Filial piety is living according to the parents' wishes without going against their heart. Filial piety think that I was born for my parents. I'm living for my parents. I can die for my parents. Filial piety is cannot think depart from my parents. Filial piety cannot against their own parents. Even though their parents something wrong, they cannot against, cannot complain, cannot depart from their parents. This is because inseparable relationship. My father is doing not so good, and my mother doing not so good, go wrong direction. I do not respect them. Filial piety cannot be like that. Filial piety will be responsible even parents' weak point. I will correct them through my serving, through my loving, through my caring. I correct them and then make them become perfect. And with the tears, this is a filial piety. Never make another group. Never ever make another group. That's why in Korean concept, unfilial piety is the most sinful things. Wow, this is a beautiful thing. Filial piety is the root of heart. In filial piety, concept of the self cannot exist in front of the parents because I came from my parents. That's why in Korean people, very strong concept, even Chinese people, my body come from my parents, that therefore my body belong to my parents. I need to treat my body as my parents. Wow, that kind of a concept is very strong. Filial piety is the foremost way that must be practiced if a human being wishes to live as a people. That's why, to become good guy, to become true self, first of all, you need to practice filial piety. Filial piety is the source of all virtues, which is the based upon when human beings form their character. That's why how to judge someone. Very easy to judge. What is his filial piety? When you see someone's filial piety, we know his character. We know what kind of person he is. He doesn't have a good relationship with his own parents. No need to expect anything, this kind of guy. Filial piety is a source of all virtues. How can judge someone? Need to see what kind of standard of the filial piety he has. Recently, I'm talking about a burning heart, burning desire, burning fire. How can I have the burning desire and heart like Jesus, like Saint Paul, and like a true father and true mother? Why they can have the burning desire? Because of the filial piety. My parents' wish is my wish. That's why true father is a really filial son. When he discovers God's sorrow, he cry and cry and cry. When he discovers God's almost wishes to save his children, all mankind. And then God's such a sorrowful wish become true father's wish. And then he has a burning desire. No matter in any kind of situation, I need to liberate God. I need to comfort God. If I do not do that, and who can comfort God and console God? I need to do. That's why those who have the filial piety, I am telling you, automatically have the burning desire, burning fire. Why I don't have a burning desire? This lack of filial piety. And then God's wish cannot become not my wish. True parents, wish could not become my wishes. That means there's a gap between parents and child. What kind of the gap? Lack of the filial piety. Parents and me become one, and his wish become my wish. His heart become my heart. How can I have a burning desire? How can I have the strong and really unwavering desire? Filial piety. When my parents cry, and automatically I cry. My parents cannot sleep, I cannot sleep. That's why key is filial piety. Why I don't have the burning desire? Lack of filial piety. There is a artistic gap. Between my parents and me, there is a artistic gap. That's why I don't have the burning desire. Filial piety leads to the establishment of ethical value system, and then probably establish the social order. As long as the order of the filial piety is established, the order of the society and the state will be established. That's why, this filial piety is vertical alignment. As long as I set up very clear, alignment centering on filial piety, then I am telling you the order of the family, the order of the society, the order of the nation surely will be established. Very clear. Vertical system is clear. What's the purpose of the vertical alignment? To create horizontal alignment. Same kind of standard. Filial piety may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Bible said, filial sons and daughters, why have to live a long life? Filial sons and daughters that do not have a long life, how can take care of his own parents? Filial heart make you live longer because God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Those who have the filial heart, not much sickness. If you are sick, and how can you take care of your parents? Where there is a filial piety, the family will come alive. I am sure. Where there is a filial piety, the church will come alive. Where there is a filial piety, the church will come alive. Your nation will come alive. Your all mankind will come alive. How much important? Turumada talking about 효정, HJ, 효정, not 요정, okay? 효정. Filial piety. HJ, 학자, HJ, 학자, HJ. Same initial word. HJ. Wow. Very, very powerful. How come Trumada pick up this word, 효정? This is the essence of the heart. Today's True Father's word. How many times a day do you recognize God? Heavenly Honey, please read.
How many times a day do you recognize God? Having said that, I ask you, how regularly do you feel God's presence? How many times during your 24-hour day do you feel his presence? Can you expect to be saved through attendance if you attend God 2 hours a day? You should need God more than you need to breathe and seek him more desperately than a choking person gasps for air or a dehydrated person craves a drink of water. God is more essential than food. You should live a life of attendance. You should live a life of attendance and encourage each other to be strong in doing so. Up to now, you received salvation through a life of faith. But from now on, you will find salvation through attendance. If humankind had not fallen at the outset, you would attend God as your way of life. Attending God is something you do with your whole heart in your daily life. Wherever you go, you should always feel that your Father is in front of you and your mother is behind you, and that heaven is with you at every moment. to your right and left, above you and below you.
I love Heavenly Honey voice, really. Wow, very powerful. True Father mentioned, having said that, I ask you, how regularly do you feel God's presence? How many times during your 24-hour day do you feel His presence? You must always be conscious of God. Imagine living with God by your side like a true parent, always true parents beside you. Think alone and do not think that you live alone. Even you open the door, then you can say to true parents and heavenly parents, even though they are not physically beside you, but open the door and enter God first. And then enter true parents first. When you sit down on a chair, then please God first. When you eat, you should tell God to eat first. This attendance every second, every moment, God is now beside me, substantially, physically. And true parents beside me, substantially and physically. And then wherever I go, and I need to prepare chair to sit down first. I prepare the food, ask him to eat first. This is the real attendance. Oh, God is not here. True parents not beside me physically, and then just only I can do for my own self. That is not attendance. Does not matter visible or invisible. Does not matter physically or spiritually beside me or not. Attendance means what? Always God and true parents with me together. Can you expect to be saved through attendance? If you attend God 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, how long you pray? How many times you are thinking about God? To have God in your life of faith means to live with your heart as God. Someone just busy, and then even do not think about even 1 second. Someone thinking about God 10 seconds maybe, 1 minute, 2 minutes. That is not attendance. That's why life is life, God is God. Therefore, my life of faith never grow up. Attendance is not like that. What I'm doing together with God. And attend my heart and mind like God. Treat my mind and heart as a God's mind. And attend my heart, attend my mind. This attend God. You should need God more than you need to breathe. And seek Him more desperately than a choking person gasps for air, or a dehydrated person craves a drink of water. God is more essential than food. You die without air for 30 minutes, right? Thinking of God as more important than air. If you do not eat rice and water for a while, you will die. God needs more than that. How many of them think about that way? That's the problem. We came from satanic blood lineage. That's why we seldom think about God. This is a really problem, my brothers and sisters. God is more essential than food, we need to know. Today's youth ministry, what we must learn through Joseph's faith. I love Joseph. Okay, in Old Testament era. I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey to read this Bible content. Heavenly Honey, please read.
Genesis 45, verses 1-8. Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all his attendants, and he cried out, Have everyone leave my presence. So there was no one with Joseph when he made himself known to his brothers. And he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard him, and Pharaoh's household heard about it. Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still living? But his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, come close to me. When they had done so, he said, I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now, do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. For 2 years now, there has been famine in the land, and for the next 5 years, there will be no plowing and reaping. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He made me father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household, and ruler of all Egypt.
Wow, this Joseph's faith is he really amazing. His brothers his brothers are Joseph's enemy, right? Joseph's brothers sell him to Egyptian. Can you imagine? He's a normal guy, how much angry with them. Cannot forgive. Cannot forgive. But here, Genesis 45, chapter 45, verse 5. And now, do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. It was God's plan. It was God's will. That's why I do not angry with you. It was God's plan. It was God's will. This is the attitude. How can forgive enemy? And then Joseph really, appreciate God in such a way. Oh my God. He did not know divine principle. Nobody teach divine principle to him how to forgive his enemy. How can he have that kind of personality, that kind of heart? That's why he become central figures. The last part here. So then it was not you for send me here, but God. You just become over the God's instrument, selling me to go to Egypt. That was God. That was God's plan. And then God made me father to Pharaoh. I become the father of the Pharaoh. Wow. That was God's plan. That was God's will. The Lord of his entire household and ruler of all Egypt. I became prime minister. That was God's plan, my brothers and sisters. That's why do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here. Oh, yes. Joseph's faith is amazing. Joseph was sold to Egypt and lived in the house of the Potiphar, where he was recognized and praised. Ordinary people do not receive praise from others in the face of persecution, and adversity. When you feel sadness and injustice, you are often unable to fulfill your responsibilities. Wow, this is really amazing. I'd like to read reading again what Joseph said. And now, do not distress and do not angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. Joseph thought of everything as God's will and accepted it with a grateful heart. Wow, we need to learn from Joseph. You know, even though someone persecute you, then think that, oh, this God is training for me. Someone ill of you, speak ill of you, then wow, God really encouraging me more strong. That was God's plan for me to become more stronger. Everything, he think everything is God's will. God has a plan for me. There is a reason why this guy persecuted me. Everything he really accepted as God's will. And then he was so grateful to God. You know, he did not know divine principle. He did not meet Jesus. How come he had that kind of heart? However, Joseph received the recognition within a very short period of time and became the leader of all the servants and took care of the Potiphar's finances and household affairs. He forget his past and he did his best in his work. This is amazing also. Those who think and accept everything in God's will to do their best in their reality, in their current situation that is given to them. Never waste time complaining. This is really amazing, my brothers and sisters. If a father, when father, came to understand he need to go to temporary prison. And at the end, he think that this is God's will. He has a full of appreciation. And when he entered the temporary prison, even though he was an old guy, he's serving, cleaning, take care of people. When father was in the Hungnam prison, normal people complain, why God brought me here? But father thought, this is God's will. I'm the one who need to pay the indemnity. And serving prisoners, never complain. And work harder than any prisoners, take care of them, sharing food together. This is really amazing. Ordinary people, when have that kind of injustice situation and complain, just waste time. But godly people think that this is God's will. And then work harder than any other one and serving them, helping them, care of them. Think that this is God's will. I am here now. So I am here. This is the God's will. That's why I need to do absolutely my best at current situation here. Many Korean young people join Korean Army 3 years duty. Do you know many of them commit suicide because could not endure and complain. And how can I get out quickly? How can I finish quickly these 2 years, 3 years Korean about duty course? This is a wrong attitude. Heavenly God, thank God you give me this kind of duty period to serve my nation. I am so grateful. When can I have this kind of time to serve my nation? I'm so grateful. At least 2 years, 3 years, I have time to serve this nation. This is a patriotism. How many of Korean young people have this kind of mindset? Just by duty and by responsibility. Oh, I know I want to finish quickly. I want to run away quickly from my army duty course. I want to liberate quickly. But look at Joseph. You look at Jesus. You look at our forefathers' life in prison. Amazing it is. Amazing it is. However, when you do well in your responsibility and get recognition, you will have the people who are jealous and people who tempt you. When receive grace from God, there will be people who like me, people who try to tempt me, and people who are jealous of me. My brothers and sisters, the fact that Joseph overcame sexual temptation shows just how righteous he is. What's that? Potiphar's wife tempted him. Actually, Joseph is a great chance to get along with her, can have a more comfortable life. How come this guy did not know what the chapter 2 problem? How come he overcome that kind of sexual temptation? That's why Joseph, he have a certain degree of his morality. He already reached a certain level, his personality, his character. This is really amazing. As outside people do not know divine principle and overcome chapter 2 temptation, that means he has already certain dignity of his morality already. People who overcome sexual temptation and always impress those around them personally. If you overcome sexual temptation, then already you different level of your spirituality, already different. Already. Yeah. Joseph was amazing guy, righteous guy. Even such, high level woman and tempt him, overcame. Because of that, he went to the prison. Wow. Then God protected him. God raised up him. When Joseph resisted a temptation of Potiphar's wife, he was framed and thrown into prison. In the prison, Joseph was put in charge of the other prisoners. He became the hands and feet of the prison guards and took on the role of the counselor, taking care of the prisoners with sincerity. Wherever I go in the prison, no prison in the prison, does not matter wherever he goes. Always serving people. And always he did his portion of responsibility. Why I am here? Why I need to go through this kind of suffering? Why God put me here? If you start to complain your destiny, then your providence delay and again and again and again. Complain, delay God's providence. Joseph knew how to see the people. And he was good on interpreting dreams and comforting others. He eventually came to play a role in interpreting the dreams of the Pharaoh. After Pharaoh saw Joseph, he thought of the Joseph as a God-like person. So he made him prime minister. There is a saying that in the Bible they say Joseph was made a father to Pharaoh. Father to Pharaoh, he became the father's figure. It is really amazing. My brothers and sisters, we learn such beautiful things from Joseph's faith. His faith should be our faith. No matter what, in any circumstances, always grateful. How to be grateful all the time? Everything. This is God's will. God put me here because this is God's will. I need to overcome. I need to pass through. That's why God brought me here. Never ever complain. Always appreciation. Appreciation is a key, my brothers and sisters. Because of his appreciation, he could overcome temptation. He did all his best to overcome. Finally, God raised up him to become prime minister. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong, for sharing such incredible messages this morning. And brothers and sisters, let us take this time to go into our breakouts to be able to digest Dr. Yong's guidance and share with each other our insights and takeaways. And also, if you're joining here alone, please take this time to reflect deeply on the message. So let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a wonderful time sharing with each other your insights and takeaways and learned something new from one another. And to share with the whole community now, I'd like to invite up the Henning couple, Tim and Elizabeth Henning. So if you can please unmute yourself and share.
Good morning. I'm grateful. What I learned is when Father.
Elizabeth and team, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm grateful for Father's words this morning when he says that attending God is a something you do with your whole heart. And so how many times do I think about God in my daily life? I realize not too often. And so we have to learn to live with God moment by moment, like God is walking on my side, two parents on the other side, and to practice this, this reality that while they're not physically here, but spiritually they are. And I think this is very important for me, what I learned today. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Elizabeth and team.
Yeah, good morning. I think Joseph's life is a very key insight. My experience with the movement is, we go from like university into MFT, right? In my case recently, I wound up teaching in Apache country. And recently there was some production anyway, explaining that, kind of a little bit of resentment against whites, so I work and I serve the people, but I realize because our core value in life is heart, it's such a blessing to be able to serve. It doesn't matter any injustice or anything, it doesn't matter anything, only just the chance to serve and to love and to try to do what God will do in that situation for the people. I think that's what Joseph really did from this morning's message. And
Thank you. Actually, thank you. And
we can really develop our hearts to become more like parents, and that's more important than any position or any blessing that we could have.
Yeah, I think Joseph really showed one of the model course, how to win over Cain, and then how to start from the bottom, servant of a servant from the prison, and then reach it to prime minister. Wow. Start from the bottom with the level of the servant of servant, and gradually become, prime minister. This is our life course. Start from the bottom. But when you appreciate and God upgrade my level of heart and become more higher and higher and reach it to highest level. So Jacob course really, and the Joseph course really show us great teaching actually. We can learn many things through our central figures. Thank you so much, team, for your beautiful sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much to the Henning couple for your beautiful sharing. And next, I'd like to invite up Miss Yendi. On Zoom, you are named MD, but she is the granddaughter of our beloved green couple. So, Miss Yendi, if you can please unmute and show yourself and share at this time. Miss Yendi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So my takeaway is when Dr. Yong said, "What is filial piety?" And he said that filial piety is being one with God and understanding God's heart, giving God your all. No, I would like to be like one day I see like everyone come together and being one with God, trying to understand God's heart. Because if one, I always ask people in my breakout room, like if one if a parent has a child and that child sins against the parent, how would that parent feel? Imagine how God would feel if all of us, billions of children, sin against God. God's heart would feel sorrowful. We need to understand God's heart, giving God our all. Try to become one with God and understand God's heart. Be a filial child to God, because showing respect is what is needed to become one with God. Love God, understand God's heart. So that was my takeaway.
Wow, Yendi, you are small girl. How come you share such beautiful things? 감사합니다, Yendi. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I heard that she's also joining us from Jamaica. So thank you so
beautiful, beautiful.
for really being coming here and showing up. And brothers and sisters, thank you to all for continuously sharing your insights and takeaways with one another, and really inspiring and uplifting our deep understanding of from Dr. Yong's guidance. But let us not stop here and continue to invite more and more brothers and sisters to join, so that they too can receive a personal spiritual jolt from Dr. Yong's guidance and through True Parents and our Heavenly Parents' words. And of course, if you can turn your attention towards the chat now, we would like to put in the link to our donation page, so that you'll be able to really respond with a loving heart and a gratitude to give back through some donation that you like to offer. And it will definitely continue to help us with our Morning Heart Devotion Ministry. And for those who are joining by Facebook and YouTube, you can see it at the bottom of your screen. And now at this point, brothers and sisters, we'd like to have the musical offering. And to give us the musical offering, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Elena Bahian. So Mrs. Bahian, if you can please unmute yourself and share your music.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Yong.
Oh, Elena. Wow,
Yes.
finally. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to sing The Bridge Over Troubled Water because we're speaking about the filial piety. And I believe that the most that have the filial piety is the mother. So I'm going to sing the bridge. The mother is always the bridge over troubled water. Thank you. Here it is. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the streets, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you knew. I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Elena, Oji mother. Such great performance. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Dr. Young.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Bahian, for a beautiful song and for your beautiful voice. And brothers and sisters, to close out this Morning Heart Devotion experience in prayer, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Julie Owens to offer the closing prayer.
Join me in prayer. Dear, our most beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents, I would first like to apologize. We are very sorry for failing you. We have become complacent in our years going against the tide that Satan has taken over with here. We have become complacent and let our fire die, let our passion die. But we have Dr. Yong here, who has been here for almost a year during morning devotion to reignite that fire. And we're so grateful for this most passionate, deep, kind person that your mother has appointed for us that we need right now. What we need to learn the most is to remember that we need to love and serve our parents. Not just true parents, not just God, but our physical parents who came through so much suffering just to bring us to the world and to raise us correctly. You can calm down now, okay. So I really pray that we can all really understand everything that our parents went through so that we can give back to them, love them, and sincerely devote all of our passion and heart back to you as well. Heavenly Parent, I really, really am thankful that Dr. Young is here so that he can remind us of these things to help True Mother reignite our passion. To reignite our passion, to bring back the fire that was here when the first generation first came into this movement, filled with the fire and the passion to bring this fallen world back to you. So I really pray that we can use this morning devotion time to reignite our passion in our hearts, our flame, so that we can no longer be complacent, so that we can move forward and we can help this world bring it back to you. There's so much things going on, and it's because everyone has lost their way, their sight of being your children, of living their life for you. And we need to show them that through our love, through our compassion, through our filial piety. I really pray that you can watch us and support us as we do this for you. I report this in all of our names. In my name, Julie and Rahika Wagner, Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Wow, Julie Owens, thank you. Thank you so much for your beautiful prayer. At the same time, taking care of your child very well. Wow, you already become great mother. You know how to handle everything at the same time. Thank you so much, Julie Owens. Oh, Beacon, hey, baby, hey.
Thank you, Julie, for your prayer, and also for your daughter for joining us in prayer. But she also joins Morning Heart Devotion every day as well. Well, with that, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining today, and also thank you, Dr. Yong, for your wonderful guidance every single day you give us. We hope that we'll be able to see each other, and until then, we hope that you can have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Happy Saturday.